It's the first Monday of the month, and that means there's a new kit from Hero Arts. Hi everyone, I'm Smakula, and thank you for stopping by. I hope you will enjoy this tutorial. If you do, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Ring the bell too to be notified of every new upload. Now this month, I don't actually have the kit from Hero Arts to create with, but I do have several of the fabulous add-on products to show you and also to make cards with. The theme for this month is crafty friends, and we can all relate to this as we all have crafty friends either online, or if we're lucky enough, we have a crafty friend living nearby and we can get together with and craft. I don't have any of my crafty friends living close by. I typically get to see them once a year, either at a craft trade show or at a crafty retreat. And some friends I haven't even met in real life yet. We are crafty friends online. But what I'm trying to say, I guess, is that this month's kit from Hero Arts is simply awesome for making and sending handmade cards to our crafty friends. The main kit, along with the add-on products, features a lot of the cute images of the craft items that we use to create with, and also many fabulous sentiments that are tailored for the crafty people in our lives specifically. For my cards today, I thought I would do some colored cardstock play. I love to add color to my cards with the help of either coloring mediums, colored inks, or colored cardstock. My idea was to have bright, colorful backgrounds and a crafting tools background stamp heat embossed in white. This is a new add-on background stamp this month. Using colored cardstock is probably the easiest way to create a colorful background for cards. So I white heat embossed this background in white detail embossing powder on 5 different colors of cardstock from Hero Arts. The colors I picked are light pink, peony, dark pink, azalea, rich green, pesto, gorgeous dark teal color, Adriatic, and also a bright yellow cardstock from my stash. This color is not from Hero Arts. I used my Misty stamping tool, and you do want to use it for the type of cards that we're making today. And I stamped the crafting tools background onto half a letter sheet of cardstock in clear embossing ink, and then I covered the background in white detail embossing powder. Next, I got my heat tool good and hot and heat set all of these backgrounds one by one. And let me tell you, this was a lot of heat setting. I actually missed a few spots on the backgrounds, and you'll be able to see where I had those mistakes later on as I get to put the backgrounds together. But that's where the sentiments came in, and I was able to cover the mistakes up with the sentiments. You'll see that later. If you'd like to recreate this set of cards, the trick here is to start with a great color combo. Use a color wheel if you need to. This is what I did and how I picked these colors, as using the right colors together is not something that comes naturally or easy to me. So start by picking the right color combo and go from there. Color plays the main role on these cards, so getting this part right pretty much guarantees your cards will come out awesome. Next, I used my paper trimmer and cut each of the backgrounds onto 1 1/4 inch strips. Now here, it was very important to place the embossed backgrounds into the trimmer in the same way, so that the image was cut up in the same spot and in the same way on each of the backgrounds that we heat embossed, as we will later want to piece the main image back together, but using different colors of cardstock. This is why I used the Misty tool in the first place, to stamp these images so that the image was stamped in the same place on each piece of cardstock, and the cardstock itself was cut to the same size. So just keep in mind that these things matter if you want to recreate these cards and have the heat embossed image line up on your background. Now, another way to go about this is to cut up the paper first, create a colorful background using various color stripes, and then heat emboss your image over those individual stripes. This way, I find I get more paper warping as opposed to heat embossing an image on one solid piece of paper. It does work, but it works a little bit better if you heat emboss on a solid sheet, then cut it up and then piece it up together. Here you can see that I've done some cheating. I'm marking my paper with a pen to know where I need to cut so that I don't have to measure every time, and I can just easily slide my paper over and cut. Once I had all of the pieces, I laid them out on my desk. I laid them out in order, this is important, and I started putting the backgrounds together. Now, for example, for this background, I used the first cut-up strip from the hot pink panel, second cut-up strip from the light pink panel, third cut-up strip from the yellow panel, fourth from the green panel, and fifth half strip from the teal panel. So if you lay your backgrounds, you will have 5 strips, 4 full strips and 1 half strip. So use strip number 1 from the first pile, strip number 2 from the second pile, strip number 3 from the third pile, and so on. Each background I built in the same way, but I started with a different color of cardstock. So next one, I started with the first light pink strip, second yellow strip, third green strip, fourth teal strip, and fifth half hot pink strip. Next one, I started with the first yellow strip, second green strip, third teal strip, fourth hot pink strip, and fifth half light pink strip. So everything was shifted 1 strip of cardstock up for each next background. Once I had done that, I moved on to stamping sentiments, and for that I used another add-on stamp set this month called Crafty Messages. I stamped several messages in black ink on white paper, and next I cut them up into strips and cut 1 sentiment out using a circle die. I really love how playful these messages are, and they already come with some sort of a supportive image next to the message. That really adds some character to these. It was time to trim my backgrounds down. This is where you can use all of that washi tape that you have sitting and gathering dust. I used my washi tape to tape the paper strips together on the front and also on the back to be able to take the new backgrounds, newly formed backgrounds, to my paper trimmer and cut them down to be a manageable size for the cards. Next, I adhered those backgrounds onto A2 white side folding card bases, and I even already added some messages to some of the cards. Now, I made the backgrounds all different in size. Some were 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, some were 4 by 5 1/4, some were 4 1/4 by 5, things like that. So I tried to do different backgrounds for different cards, and I also had a ton of leftover. I saved it in a baggie, and I plan to use it later, as I still have all of those like little almost square-like embossed panels and also regular panels that are just cut into smaller pieces, and I do want to use them at some point, so I just put them in a baggie and save them for later. Now, the messages felt a little bit blank to me, if you will. I wanted to add some color to them because we already had those colorful backgrounds. So I pulled out a new toy in my crafty corner, a set of chameleon dual-ended colored pencils, and then I colored these messages. Now here's a look at the pencil case and the pencils themselves. I got these just a few weeks ago, and I've only colored with them twice so far, but I really like them. Each pencil has 2 colors, or 2 ends to it, a light shade and a dark shade that has been specifically picked or designed to help us crafters color better. Now, these pencils are made in Austria, and I found them to be very high quality. They also sharpen beautifully, and the lead doesn't seem to break. I've sharpened mine a couple of times, and you can see me sharpening the pencil now, and it's fine. This is something that I always look for in colored pencils, as I want them to last me a very long time, and having the lead break when I sharpen my pencil is not something I or anyone else likes. Now, even though each pencil has 2 shades, this doesn't mean that you have to use these 2 shades to color with. Here, for example, I like the dark shade on the yellow pencil and the light shade on the orange pencil, so I'm going to use both of these to color one image of a pencil on this sentiment. So you can use these pencils as you regularly would, as you usually would. It doesn't mean that you have to use the 2 shades that have been predefined for you by the manufacturer. Now, I also decided that I would add some colorful shadow to the sentiment itself using a pencil, and quickly did that using the lighter yellow one. For my next sentiment, I used a light pink and a dark pink shade of one pencil to color the glue gun, and it was very easy to do. I just flipped the pencil to the other side and colored or shaded away. These pencils are not as expensive as the Polychromos by Faber-Castell. This is another brand that I love to use, but they are only currently sold in a pack. There's 25 pencils in a pack, so 50 colors. There aren't any individual pencils available. So for instance, if you like to color with pink a lot, you will run out of the pink pencil faster and you won't be able to replace just that one pencil. But if you like to color a little bit here and a little bit there, these will last you a long time. I'm not personally concerned that I'll have no replacement for some of the pencils or some of the colors, as it's going to take me a very long time to use the entire pencil up. So not worried about that at all. Here's a look at the finished cards that I made for my crafty friends using these new goodies from Hero Arts. Now I just need to make sure that I actually go ahead and mail them, as I'm honestly terrible at that. I hope you'll give this idea a try. If you do, share online and tag me on social media. I always love seeing what you guys are making. On the screen, there's a link to a playlist with all of my Hero Arts tutorials. Subscribe now not to miss any new card making videos. Love you guys. I'll see you next week.